Hello, I'm Jamie.
Hello, I'm Mark, and it's time for another episode of Through the Garden Gate. Good evening, Instagram. It is Tuesday night and it's 7:30. It's time for another episode of Through the Garden Gate. Coming up on tonight's episode, who knows? We haven't recorded it yet. You'll have to listen. Let's get Jamie in. You might notice that I'm on my own at the moment. George is at swimming tonight, so he's not made it back in time through the garden gate, but I'm sure he might appear at some point to give us his garden facts. How are we all? It's back to being summer again the last few days. It's been glorious. Perfect weather for fishing around in a lake. Here comes George. In his pyjamas again.
Well, to be fair, I was just rushing to get out here, so...
There's Jamie.
I am in.
It doesn't show me anymore. It's really odd.
What, me or just me or everybody?
Just everyone, really. It shows me about 5 people that are in. And when Ali and Ange were doing their live the other night, I joined it and looked, and it wouldn't show me who was in that either. I could only see like 3 people, yet there was more than that on the live. So Instagram's being odd.
Mine says 9 at the moment. Is that what yours says?
Mine says 9, but I can only see 3 people out of that
9. 5. Yeah, I can see 3 plus us 2.
Which is bizarre when it says 9.
And me! So, do you mean 10?
Is that a Christmas jumper? Linda, it is Christmas pyjamas. Linda is... You know who Linda is?
Yeah.
Green fingers.
Well,
You know Linda. We all know Linda.
Pyjamas that I got, so...
As long as they fit, that's the most important thing.
How was swimming, George?
Yeah, it was okay, but then... Before that, I had McDonald's, and then I had to go and look around the secondary school. So we had a busy morning.
Oh, wow.
Afternoon.
Sounds good to me. Especially the McDonald's bit.
Especially the McDonald's bit. Your second one in the space of about 5 days, isn't it? How was swimming?
Okay.
Was it wet?
Yes, of course it is. It's always wet. It's not just an empty pool that I walk around.
What's happening to your mouth?
To swim, is it?
Oh yeah, we got that stupid filter on again. Why is my mouth not doing it?
Oh, dearie me.
That better?
George, what have you done?
Just your standard mouth now.
That's big enough.
It's already big enough, yeah. No, thank you. I don't want biting.
Come on then, swimming. What did you do? George,
what did you say?
Listen, what did you do in swimming? Talk to us.
Just swimming, to be honest.
Backwards and forwards.
How far?
But then we did like a game where you had to, there were coloured balls and you had to pick one, and one was a different challenge. So like one was swimming on your back, one was swimming on your front, one was flip flap.
Flip, flap, flop.
Yeah, a bit like that. And then one was monkey, and one was horsey.
Sounds very confusing.
Sounds good to me.
And then we did like a football game at the end.
The best part of this whole
Football?
Not football, but like the hitting in the pool.
Volleyball.
Like volleyball.
No, volleyball, but in the pool.
Or
Volleyball.
Pool.
Your garden facts, which one do you want to do?
Pool ball.
Pool ball.
Which garden fact do you want to do? Do you want to do the pumpkin one or the autumn one? Pumpkin one. Go on then.
I can do both of them.
No, just do the one. Then you can use the other one for next week.
Gardening fact: pumpkins are technically a fruit containing seeds and are made up of 90% water. You can eat every part of a pumpkin, including the skin, flowers, leaves, and seeds. You can eat that, Jamie. The skin.
It's a bit tough.
It's like an apple.
That's one of ours, Dad. You don't want to destroy one of ours. Thank you very much.
Is it yours?
Yes. I'm taking it back.
That's one of the ways to know if your pumpkin's ready. It's hollow at the bottom.
Is ours hollow at the bottom? Let's have a listen.
Let me show you something that fell off the other day. I was a bit gutted. Fell off in the wind.
Yeah, that one's hollow.
Fell off in the wind and I was gutted. Hopefully it's fine.
Oh, it's your bottle gourd.
Birdhouse gourd.
Gourd, sorry.
I just hope it's
Then we can take.
far enough.
Still good though, isn't it?
You can't even get it in the screen. Look at that.
And drill a little hole in it.
Yeah. I suppose I've got to let that cure
Dry out.
really well.
Dry out and it'll go all brown.
Mummy said that I could have 10 minutes of telly after this, so.
Oh, that sounds good.
You better go then so that you can have your 10 minutes.
Yeah.
See you next week.
There, George.
Episodes are irrelevant now, apparently. You don't mention
Episode like
episodes
100 and...
Not till we get close to the next big one.
No, you're not allowed to mention anymore.
Oh, never?
Maybe 8.
Something like that. Yeah,
See you next week on episode 109 of Through the Garden Gate.
See you, mate.
Bye. Go get your ball, Ash. Go towards the light.
Just see if you can tell me what these plant leaves, what plant are off.
I'm going to go with Malabar spinach.
Yeah, look at that.
Like a blooming a cabbage.
That's a whole meal on its own.
Massive, isn't it?
Look at them. I was just seeing them sitting there and I thought, oh, look at them. They're amazing. You've been paddling about a bit this week.
Just a little bit. Nice to get in the lake again whilst we've got the last remains of the summer heat.
It's been lovely, yeah. What have you been doing in the lake?
So we're just clearing more sort of reeds and iris and stuff like that so that the edge is closer to what it was before. Because actually in the lake you've got like where the island is and then there should be a planting shelf and then after that it drops away.
Okay.
The planting shelf has now exceeded itself and is on the slope. So it's very difficult to maintain, but as the water levels are so low, we're able to get in there because otherwise it'd be way steep.
Yeah.
So we're able to get in there and pull out all of the stuff that's trying to escape the planting shelves. So it's the most maintenance the lake has had in my time there.
Yeah. I suppose you need it every 10 years or so.
Well, I mean, if you watch Gardener's World, Monty gets in his and rips everything out quite regularly. But then that's on small scale.
It is a pond, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yours isn't a pond, it's a lake.
Well, it probably... How do you define a lake? It's probably not a lake either.
I would class it more as a lake, I would.
Yeah, it's a large pond.
It's huge. It is big.
And we're slowly working our way around it, pulling out stuff. We tidied up a lot of piles today as well that we've been, avoiding doing. We're having a good tidy up, so it's all
piles.
Well, when we were doing the lake before, we bagged up a load of stuff and put a load of stuff on tarps to dry out and let all the creatures escape from it. And we hadn't got back round to doing it before we got all the rain, so it got wet again. But now we've had a few days of dry weather. We've got down there and got them out of the way, so it looks a lot tidier.
Oh, good. And you put them on your compost heap?
No, unfortunately not, because our compost heaps are very full, and we took out 4 trailerfuls and 3 ton bags worth from what we've done.
Right. So what do you do with those?
We've just been putting it in the woodland, laying it out in a thin layer underneath the trees so it can decompose in there. So it'll be feeding the trees.
Same as then, isn't it, really?
Staying on the site, not being burnt,
Not
let
being
the wildlife
carted away in
get out of
loads
it.
of lorries.
Yeah. So yeah, but we're getting there slowly. Just very mindful that I've only got sort of 3-4 weeks left of having staff,
Oh,
and then it's back to winter and having no staff again until
oh dear.
March.
What, completely none? Just you again?
Just me, possibly being able to get one of them in over winter now and again, get a few bits done. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
not
Sure
my
you'll cope.
choice. Definitely not my choice, but monetary wise,
No.
that's what has been
Yeah,
decided.
yeah.
So,
You can't moan. You've what you've had is worked well.
over and above. So yeah, I just hope we can have the same level of support next year, because we've got so much done this year, and the garden is in the best place it's been in 12, 13 years.
I'm sure the boss has seen that. He's noticed it.
Oh yeah, he's very aware of how much work we've done. He's said many times over the past few weeks that the garden's looking amazing, best it's looked for a long while. And I guess the problem is that you say, right, we've achieved what we wanted to achieve, and then go back to less people again. But then it's very quick to go back to what you had before until you get everywhere really on top and get it all mulched.
Yeah, so you need just as many people, by the sounds of it, to keep the maintenance up.
I think we will get there eventually, because as we're going, we're simplifying the garden and taking out beds in the garden, and just getting on top of it all. But yeah, we're all. I don't think you'll ever get to the point of it just needing one person. I think you'll always need at least one seasonal person, and a robo mower or two. If only you could have a robo hedge cutter and all the rest of it.
Ask me where I've just been.
Where have you been?
I've just been to a meeting.
Sounds official.
Yes, no, not really. At our local primary school,
All right.
where a group of us are going to make a community allotment stroke garden.
That's cool.
Yeah.
With the kids involved, or?
Kids have been involved, yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Sounds cool.
It's a new school. School's only been there 2 years, and there's a big strip of land. It's about, I would say, 10 to 12 metres wide by at least 50 metres.
Wow, that's a decent plot then.
Yeah, and
like half of my garden.
Yeah, really, it's really long. It's not really thin, but maybe it's 15 metres. It's quite decent, but it's all overgrown over the last 2 years because nobody's been in it. So we're going to chop it all back and see what it is, and then go from there.
That sounds very exciting.
Don't know where I'm going to find the time to do any of it, but I will. I normally do.
Well, if you can get a community involved, that makes it all easier.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's about 20 people there at the meeting, so that's.
Any teachers keen?
There was a few teachers, three or four teachers. The headmistress was there, which is good. The local landowner, the main dude of the village, he was there, and a councillor, parish councillor, was there. So yeah, it's all looking good. Hopefully.
Let's put a shirt on again tonight then.
No, I went in my work hoodie and my shorts. Nice. But already, the man whose idea it was, which is really weird because I've been thinking for the last few months, I'll have to get in contact with school, see if I can do some kind of school allotment or something. And then all of a sudden, this popped up on Facebook. He's a biologist of some description, and some of the ideas he was coming out with, it's straight away the ideas that are coming from different people, including myself, just lifts the whole room. He was saying, "Oh, let's just mow it all," and I said, "Well, he's a farmer. He's got a tractor with a flail mower on the back. He could do it in 20 minutes." And he went, "Oh yeah, I'll get him to come around tomorrow." Done. So that saved a weekend of probably 5 people with mowers and trimmers straight away. That's what it is. More heads make more, lighter work, don't they? Keep thinking about different things.
Yep, think, work smarter,
That's it.
not harder.
Work smarter. Yeah. Yeah. Teachers have a bad habit of moving on. Yeah, but it's not just the school one. It's going to be community as well. So there's going to be people of the community going into it as well and helping out. So
it'll almost be like the school have their little corner of it, and then everybody else looks after the rest of it.
not far off. There's going to be some beds for the kids to go and do what they want in, and then there'll be somewhere people can go and have a bed themselves or share a bed and do that. We're going to have a pond, obviously, polytunnel, composting area. He did say about having, he's just going to cover. He did say, he went, oh, does anybody know where you can get horse muck from locally? And I went, yeah, got tons of it, but I ain't got a trailer to take it in. That's the only problem. But so that's back on the farmer again.
Yep.
So yeah, that's exciting. That's going to be good. Getting that ready all over winter. Yeah, get that ready for over winter, and then start planting in the spring.
Very good. I saw you got a nice big delivery of plant grow again the other day.
No, that was from ages ago.
How was it?
They reused it. Yeah, no.
I was going to say, we were only talking about it the other day, and then I was like, hang on a minute.
I'm not ready for anything. None of my beds are really empty, to be honest.
No.
There's still stuff in all of them. They could do with a good clear out now because there's stuff which is bolted or, I noticed earlier there's lettuces which have rotted off and things, so that hasn't needed decent clear out. I only just realised I haven't been in this polytunnel since last Tuesday. I've been that busy.
Really?
With work, yeah. I just walked back in with a new battery for the light and sat down exactly where it was last week.
Yeah.
But I haven't watered it. I don't water anymore. There's plenty. They can obviously find their own water. So it's still doing its thing.
Other than this week, it has cooled down and the sun's not as intense anymore. So
yeah, it was lovely yesterday, wasn't it? Nice today.
Yeah, it's cloudy today, not as sunny, but it's still very mild for the 6th, 7th of October.
Yeah, definitely. Jenny used to run a community garden. I love how everyone has something to bring to the table. Exactly that. Exactly.
Well, it's creating community and sharing ideas and bringing all your skills together. Yeah. And everybody knows somebody else as well, so you quite quickly be able to get the resources you need.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right, enough about us.
Yeah, so tonight's guest is a flower grower who is a self-taught gardener, formerly a teacher. Last year she got a visit by Sue Kent and Gardener's World. She is helping to raise money for the Cancer Respite Pavilion project at the Wildside Garden. It is Caroline Crocker at Duck Garden Plants and Posies.
Duck. What do you say, duck?
Duck.
Try and turn it round.
Press the little circular arrow. There we go.
There you go.
You wouldn't believe how many people that.
I tried it out just now. It's pointing the right way. I hopped off to hop back in so I could see you. So you could see me. I mean, I was there all the time, honest.
I see. I can see.
Can you hear me? That's the question.
Yep.
Loud and clear.
Good.
Yeah. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm just doing this mad sort of, this last push for my fundraising efforts. And I just thought I'd come and say hello to you, gents.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it. So maybe you ought to tell us about your fundraising efforts then to start with.
Well, I probably should go back to the beginning. So Wildside is a garden on Dartmoor. If people have heard of the Garden House, then the chap that started the Garden House decades ago, or was the head gardener decades ago, then went down the road and bought a flat field about 20 years ago and has changed it into the most incredible landscape. So you've got sort of 40-foot high mounds and mountainous bits down, and then he's dug just as deep. And I always used to think he must have had a big digger in, but apparently every November on his birthday, he hires a little one-man digger from the hire shop, and he does it
Wow.
himself.
That's
But anyway,
fair.
went there in 2019 with 3 friends, and we were supposed to be joining a private tour of a coach trip, but the coach got lost. So we had the good man himself, Keith Wiley, and his friend who builds all the buildings there, all the structures and the buildings and things. We had a tour just with the 2 of them, and yeah, it was really amazing, and it's just sort of started my fascination with the place. And there's almost no grass left here as a result, because every time, every new season I'm out there, I think, oh, I could dig up a bit more grass and do something. But sadly, Keith lost his wife in 2019 very quickly to cancer. And he had a year or so where he just couldn't face the garden. And I think it was an RHS apprentice coming back down that sort of got him back out there properly. And he realised that the next section of the garden, he could complete it not as he would have done with his wife, but he could complete it in her honour. And his friend Mike has built this pavilion. The outside is done, and the fundraising now is for the inside. And his idea is that cancer patients and their families, you'll have to have a charity coordinate it eventually, but cancer patients will be able to go when the garden isn't open to the public and spend time there. And we lost my sister-in-law at a similar sort of time, and I've been fundraising while she was poorly and afterwards for cancer charities, but now it just feels right. And each time that I make my calendar, also orderable by next week, please, on Instagram. That's not this year's because I do it straight to the printer, but that's a general gist. Each time I do that, it's now for the pavilion, and I just want to do that fundraising in her honour. But then, because I'm completely mad, I listened to TJ Marr of Pathana Garden in Ireland, another person who's influenced my garden when we took up our lawn. And I had a Zoom with other people in lockdown. And at the end of the Zoom, someone said, come to Britain, do a real talk. And he said, if someone will organise me, I'll come. And somewhere in my head, that became, why don't I invite him round? I'll invite him over. And I've ended up organising one talk near me, local to Plymouth, and another one in Bristol the next night. So it's the 24th and the 25th of this month. And so that other people could access it a bit more, we've gone up to Bristol on the Saturday. So yeah, those are the talks that, those are my latest fundraising. Everything we raise, all the profit from those talks by TJ will go to the Wildside Project as well. So yeah, I'm just in the last couple of weeks of getting the word out there to see if anyone else wants to join us.
Brilliant. Tell us what kind of things you expect him to talk about then at your talks.
Well, he's very much an artist. So his garden, if anybody goes and has a look, Pathana Garden on Instagram and Facebook, it just looks like a painting. He is a painter by training, and it's just the most amazing wash of colour. I just can't believe what he manages to do despite drought and whatever. And he also gardens very closely with nature, and he wrote a book, I think it was last year or the year before the book came out, Grounded in the Garden, an artist's guide to creating a garden in harmony with nature. You can tell I've typed that a few times this year. And the talk is based on that, so 130 photographs based on that book project. And I believe Clive Nichols, the photographer, works with him very closely, goes out there a lot, and I'm pretty sure there'll be photographs of Clive Nichols as well as TJ's in that. And yeah, so it's quite a spiritual book. He's not religious, but spiritual, sort of about his own journey into gardening, how he gardens with nature, and just the artistry of it. And having heard him speak on that Zoom in lockdown, I can't wait to see it properly in the flesh. And I know it's going to be brilliant from what we heard online then.
Sounds amazing, because Jenny just mentioned a little while ago, she said she was on that Zoom as well. It was just fantastic.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. And I've got this habit of trying to make things happen. I think it's because I used to teach, and then I got the flu 21 or 2 years ago, and that turned into ME, or chronic fatigue. Okay. And I think sometimes, like when the kids were growing up, I used to think, oh, they're not doing all the things the other kids are doing. I can't run down to the park with them. I can't do this and that. And then we'd get to the summer holidays and I'd organise, we'd go off to London and see 2 surprise shows and do something else. And then I collapse at the end of it. And I think it's a bit like that with the gardening community. I kind of want to do something, want to be part of things.
Yeah.
And can't always, the pace isn't the same all the time. But I can usually find a bit of adrenaline to do some good things or some interesting things. So I thought, why not? In the way I tend to do.
Definitely sounds like you're doing plenty to me.
Yeah, it's nice to be part of things, and we don't get much garden action down here in Plymouth. RHS Rosemore is an hour and 20 minutes away, which is phenomenal, but that's quite a long way away. And we've got Wildside, which is incredible in the garden house, but we don't get the sort of the shows and the talks and things.
Yeah.
So I thought, why not bring it down this way for a change? And Wildside's open that weekend, so I've got some of the gardening community from Instagram are coming down, and we'll stay the weekend, and then they'll go off to see Wildside for the first time as well, because it happens to be its autumn opening. It's open again in November, and then that's it until March or April. But yeah, so there's people coming down to make a weekend of it. And similarly in Bristol, I think people are travelling a little bit. I can see Annie Blake, she's coming to one of them, and Jenny's coming. I've met Jenny. I haven't met Jenny. So yeah,
I've not met Jenny
it'll be
yet.
good fun. It'll be good fun.
Yeah, sounds
brilliant.
It's I honestly can't believe how much that one trip with my friends. We were all social media friends, mostly Facebook at that point, but we'd never all been together. So I thought, what could we do that's really special? And sort of a lifelong memory kind of thing. And I'd never been to Wildside because of the ME, and this it's not actually that much of a slope now, but it would have been to me in the early days. And so I booked that tour, and it's just changed our life really, because in 2023 we've been here 25 years, but in 2023 the garden still had a big lawn sloping up from the house. And I decided that I'd done all the other little bits of grass that I could think of and changed them to flower beds and paths. And my husband said we could do it gradually. And I said, no, because it slopes up from the house. You don't want to look at a little bit and then another bit and another bit. So yeah, we just, that's my husband and my dad and a turf cutter on the hottest day of the year so far in 23. It was a bank holiday Monday. I know how to organise their time. They took all the lawn up. They took all the lawn up, and I was shifting turf and moving it around for a day and a half, and then I sort of had to watch from the sidelines a bit after that because I ran out of steam. And then I planted it up, but nobody else does the planting here, except I've had some lovely volunteers. I think the chap called Tom is on. I saw him on the feed earlier, and he's moved from painting and decorating into gardening he was training and coming here as well. And he's now got his own gardening business, but he came along just at the right time to help me get ready for garden as well, because normally it's just me and the plants and the planting. But yeah, so it's literally changed our lives, because even my husband, who's not very planty at all, opens the back door and just goes, wow, it's good here, isn't it? It's
fantastic.
Never used to say that for the lawn, but all the perennials and the grasses and everything that's just a totally different garden to the one we've had when the children were little.
It is amazing how much you managed to achieve in the space of a year, to have a garden that looked like it had always been there, and it was literally turf the year before. It's absolutely insane.
I think it's, what is it about the fallow ground or something, when something's been grass for literally decades, I think it does supercharge anything you put in there. Because there was we turned the turf over, for anyone who hasn't, I haven't bored with the Garden as well episode, we turned the turf upside down and covered it with a little bit of sort of, you can go and buy soil from a green waste place where they've had massive compost heaps going, but nothing, it's mostly the turf. And then I had to wait from May till August, which was, although my dad and I really liked the sculpture. It was like a sculpture in soil because the shape of the mounds was so beautiful. But I had to wait for the turf to rot a little bit so we could dig into the upside down grass. But yeah, I think the grass, all that time it was just grass, I think had supercharged the soil or something. So yeah, it went quicker than I thought, the growth, and now it's
How
different
big is your
again this
garden
year.
then? How big is it?
Sorry.
How big's the
Um,
garden?
I'm never sure. I'm not very good with measurements, but the whole plot, there's a front garden that's quite big, about half the size of the mounded bit, and the whole plot is a third of an acre, but that includes a big concrete drive and the garage and the house and everything. So it's not that big, but it feels much bigger with the garden now, with the pathways through. It's quite a journey to get from the bottom. The ducks have to wait ages in the morning because I've got all sorts of plants to look at on the way up when I go to give them their breakfast. But it used to just be straight up the middle of the lawn, and that was it. And it makes it feel a lot bigger, a lot bigger. And of course, because of this is why I was captured by Keith's Wildside thing of all the different shapes, because the minute you take it from flat and create mounds, then you've got more surface area, and it didn't take me long to work out that was more plants. So yeah, but no, it's really been a life-changing thing, that visit to the garden, and it just feels nice to give something back by organising things. And I've ended up giving a couple of talks this year, and I took my collection pot along to one of them. A U3A talk said, bring a charity box. So I thought, oh, I'll make one of those then. So I was able to take that along, and that money will go in with the talk money and everything. So yeah, it's just nice to be useful and put something back, really.
Yeah, sounds brilliant. Sounds brilliant. How do people find out about these talks then?
It's the easiest way is probably, if you're on Instagram, is probably to go to my bio where the link tree is. But if you're good with Eventbrite, you literally go into a Bristol search or a Plymouth search and type TJ, the letter T and the letter J next to each other. But yeah, the address, there's posters on my grid with the Eventbrite thing written on, and also a direct link in my link tree in my bio, on the weekly Posy Challenge page and on the Duck Garden Plants page. So, and people can just drop me a line. But yeah, there's some seats left, and it'll be good fun to see some more Instagram folk. But I've been listening along to your veg ones recently, and just thinking I need to up my veg game. So I'm going to have to. We got sort of an allotmenty sort of a veg patch at the top, but I get very distracted with flowers, very distracted. So we do all the old favourites, but I just scribbled down your Malabar spinach because that looked good.
Amazing, isn't it? Where's my big leaves gone? Look at those. They're huge.
They are.
Absolutely
You look
massive.
brilliant. Is it spicy? Did I hear some? Is it quite a spicy
not spicy
thing? No.
There's the plant there that grows up.
So does that have to be indoors then?
No, it does work outside, but indoors it's better. But it does grow outside as well.
Right.
But that's just been absolutely phenomenal this year. It's the first time we've both grown it, isn't it, Mark?
Yeah, we saw it at Gardeners World Live Autumn Fair, didn't we? And it was.
Yeah, Lucy says she grows it every year. Lucy Chamberlain. So we had a go, but this is full of buds and seeds at the moment. So I'm going to hopefully save some seeds. Look at those.
Yeah, look at that.
They
No,
must
that's
look like
another. I like Lucy Chamberlain and Saul. That's another one that gets me thinking, like, get your veg game up, listening to Talking Heads every week, and it's like, do that. Oh my goodness, is that the seed?
I've just squashed one, and it's.
Ugh. Your fingers are going to fall off now.
Dare I?
No, don't do that.
I was telling Jamie about my milk bottles as well. That'd be good for your veg watchers.
You really threw me. Let's talk about milk bottles quickly, because you really threw me while we were chatting. I read that. I'm dyslexic, and I just skip over stuff. And you said, it read to me, I sow all my seeds in milk. And I went, what? But because bottled was on the next line down, I just didn't keep going. And I went,
that's what they're like. See, they're reused, so that's why it's in a mess, because I used them for about 3 years before the plastic goes a bit funny in the sunlight. But this is a nice size to use. And that's this one's had asters in, because it is mostly flowers, but I grow my purple sprouting in them every year. What else do I grow veg-wise in there? Chard, spinach, lettuce, things like that. You start them off in there. So you just put your holes in the bottom.
Yeah.
I've got a soldering iron for that because that's the easiest way to do that. And then just make a hinge, pop your soil in, sow the seeds like you would do anywhere else. If they don't need covering, you don't cover them with soil. If they do need covering, you cover them the same as you would outside or in a greenhouse. And then you seal it up with the duct tape and pop it outside, not too sunny so it doesn't dry out super fast, but not too, needs sunlight, obviously. But then I brought you the deluxe version because you're veg man. This is my courgette one, the model for courgettes. Because then if I'm feeling, I've always done too many flowers and I haven't got to the veg in time. So then I'm like, right, I'm in a hurry now. So sometimes I put the courgettes in here, and whereas they're supposed to go outside, this is the whole point. You can sow these bottles in the winter and the seeds will germinate when the temperatures get to the right time. So that's that makes them really strong. But if I'd left it a bit late for courgettes and I'm in a hurry, I'll sow a couple of seeds in one of these and the cucumbers, and then I can let them get going we've got like a beautiful outbuilding my dad built, a shed, but I get them going in the window there, but then I can just take them outside like that as soon as they've sprouted and not have to worry, and then the water, the rain or the condensation or whatever will start to look after them. But it gives me a bit of a head start. And also I'm rubbish with courgettes. I'm forever snapping them off if I sow them in little pots. Mm-hmm. But in here they can kind of get going, and then as soon as I think they're kind of big enough, they go out of here and into the ground. So yeah, those are my bottles. Not
so
my milk.
You water the compost obviously when you sow the seeds, and then it takes care of itself.
Yeah, I think once or twice a year in the last couple of years where we've had hotter Aprils and Mays, I might dunk them in trays of water, but literally a couple of times.
Yeah, okay.
A couple of times. So this is why it's brilliant for chronic fatigue, because I'll sow my seeds between February. I start with grasses and some of the perennial flowers and things like that. I'll sow the seeds, put the bottles outside, and then if the weather's favourable, like a mix of sun and rain and whatever, like we used to have 2 or 3 years ago, then you don't touch them again, and open them in about April, and you open them up, and it's like you've been to the garden centre and bought yourself a cell, little mini tray cells of the veg like you can buy, because you just open it up and there they are, and they don't need hardening off either, which is another bonus for someone with limited energy, because all that in and out of indoors, outdoors.
I never do that anyway.
So they definitely don't need that, because for some reason they're just ready to go, and the roots are really good. The thing I'm learning the more I do it is just plant them out tiny, because you think, oh, that's really, there's hardly anything of that, but the sooner you get them out, the quicker they go, and the roots are just amazing on them. So. And I don't have a greenhouse. We could have put one in the middle. I think because the garden sloped up from the house, like I was saying, most of it's visible from the house. I never kind of knew where to put one. And I think I wouldn't be very good at looking after it if I was in a rough patch either. So whereas these look after themselves almost entirely. Once the lid's off, you have to be a bit more careful about watering if it doesn't rain. But yeah, no, that's how I do mine. But I want to experiment with more veg. We've got all the usual suspects.
Really good to me, because I'm an overwaterer. I'm sure lots of people are. When you're in cell trays or seed trays, you just keep giving it another squirt, and I always overwater. But if I can just seal that up and go, leave that, brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I couldn't believe it the first time. I was like, a friend of mine who has got a greenhouse saw it, because it's really massive in America, winter sowing. Especially because a lot of them, by the time the snow's melted, it's quite late on. So they sow, and then you see all these pictures of the milk bottles just popping out of the snow, and the snow insulates. So they do their sowing literally in the winter. It can snow or whatever, and then off it goes. And my friend saw it, and I just went for it. I thought, well, this is the answer to all the things I see people growing in a greenhouse. And at the time, our lovely outbuilding that I've now taken over, the children were still using it as like an art studio, come computer room, come whatever. And my son moved out of it last year. He declared that there was too much earth. Well, I was like, it's only the dahlias. I only do the dahlias in there. But yeah, he's gone, and I was like, yes. So yeah, I've got it much quicker than I expected. But yeah, now I did get a little heated propagator, did have a play as well. I still did the milk bottles. But yeah, the first year I sowed all these milk bottles, I think it's about 50. And then I was like, well, what am I going to do if it works? Because I've got all these cut flowers and all of these things. So then I turned the garlic compost bin that somebody'd left on our plot originally, I turned it upside down and made a giant plant pot out of it. And people kept giving me them. So I've got this row of upside down garlic compost bins, like massive plant pots along the side of the allotment. And that's where the cut flowers live. But yeah, and as soon as it was got to about April time, and you can look in, you turn into a pirate because you have to close one eye and peer in for weeks. And then you peel the tape off, let them out. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So planted them out, and then yeah, it's lovely, and it's I'm able to. That's what in the first year of the mounds, I was able to like fill in the gaps with things that I'd grown from seed like that. But it's a good way of growing lots of things quickly. And the other thing you do with them is you can it's called hunker seedlings. So you hunk them out. You don't have to prick them out, especially, limited energy, limited time, whatever your situation is. So you just can pull them apart. So if I've got a bottle full of calendula or a bottle full, I know you can chuck them down, but I do them anyway, because then I know which one's where. And, whatever it is, asters that I grow for cut flowers, you can just pull them apart and you don't have to worry about individual plants. You just pull them apart, plant them up, and it's kind of survival of the fittest, but often loads of them come up. So yeah, it's a really labour saving way of doing things, really.
You see, Joe's got
so expensive. Everybody's got a milk bottle.
Yeah, and also I think it was Norfolk blue door flowers or some name a bit like that earlier.
Yeah,
so that's all right if you drink milk, but we were at a stage where, especially when you got to lockdown, I wouldn't let them have milk because you couldn't get milk. All you do is you pop a note on Facebook, and I found one lady who's got 7 children, and she couldn't fit all her milk. She couldn't fit all her milk bottles in the bin, so she was like,
wow.
One year I went to her every couple of weeks and collected a big pile of milk bottles, because they do start to get brittle. I probably might have to ask around this time. And because we certainly, now the kids are 18 and 20, we don't get through the big bottles like that. You can do it in the smaller ones. I just find this is a perfect size because it gives you that nice like cell trays worth of plants at the end.
I was going to say, we don't. How many is that? That must be a 6-pointer or something, is it?
Yeah, I think so, because we're down to the half ones now. So if I want any more,
we only have the two.
But cafes love it as well, because they've got to stand there crushing them all to get them in their recycling and pay to have it taken away. So it doesn't take long at all to find people locally who want you to go and collect their milk bottles. So and they do last.
What's made me think is, and I think you mentioned it last night on Ali's live, Mark, about seeds germinating when they want to germinate.
Yep.
Because when a plant goes to seed, it drops its seed, or the bird takes it over there and poos it back out, but it's there until it gets its perfect conditions.
Yeah.
As long as you're not sitting it in some soggy, wet soil, that will sit there until it's ready to go, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it does. I mean, sometimes when you sow plants outside, they say, don't they, just, put it in a sheltered corner in a plant pot. I've had birds scratch through them, or they do get too wet because it's far, that you suddenly get really wet weather. So it does seem to, it's not 100%. It's usually duff seed if it doesn't work, to be honest, but it's not 100%, obviously, but I just find it. And I think it's the fact it waters itself, because even if it doesn't rain, in that sort of March, April time, there's an element of the condensation, even if you're not getting much actual rain. The condensation is enough.
You're locking in the moisture in the compost, so
it is the prolonged dry spells we've had in the last couple of Aprils that mean. But even then, sitting it in a tray, it's literally only once or twice in the season that I've done it. It's not like I'm doing it all the time, so it's far less watering than it would be if you were in a greenhouse. Or
I guess you leave the lid off, don't you?
Yeah, the lid's off, and it's outside right from the go. I sometimes photograph them inside, so it looks, when I'm making them, but straight outside. And except, like I say, you can use them more of a, this is more of a cloche when I do it with the courgettes, because sometimes if I'm in a hurry, I bring them on inside and then they're just got their own little greenhouse to get a bit stronger. But you can, I've done them straight outside as well. I sometimes do both and let them race each other, see who comes first. But the courgettes and the cucumbers, because they get big so quickly, that's why I did the water ones.
Right.
Yeah. So that works really well. But yeah, just still, I would like a greenhouse now, but there's nowhere to put it with everything that's been done and finished. But it's because of chrysanthemums. I absolutely love chrysanthemums. So I grow them because we're down in Devon. I get away with it till about, well, when the frost is October, November. Yeah. But I would, if I had somewhere to put a polytunnel or a greenhouse, it would be full of chrysanthemums and veg, hopefully, but mostly chrysanthemums.
Yeah, I love chrysanthemums as well. But we said about, who did we have on, Mark, who grows chrysanthemums? And we said, we was gonna.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Georgina.
We said Georgina, and we said we was going to get some, but I just haven't got around to doing it. But I do want to, because I do love them. A friend of mine, she grows them, and they're beautiful, and they last for ages in the vase.
Ages and ages, yeah, 2 or 3 weeks at least, which is brilliant. And also, they're just starting now. Well, outside, they're just starting now, and it just feels like, just when you need that more. I pick more flowers in the autumn than I do the rest of the year, really, because that's when you sort of, the nights are drawing in and everything. If you can bring it inside, and yeah. Oh, another chrysanthemum fan.
Joe loves a chrysanthemum as well. Yeah. Oh wow, brilliant. Well, you have to get a little greenhouse or polytunnel then.
Well, I've got
find some
one of the I started weekly posy challenge on Instagram in the second lockdown, because I've been picking a posy on a weekend for about 10 years now, so whatever that was in lockdown, and sharing it on my Facebook and stuff. But I didn't want another Facebook page. I thought, I wonder what Instagram's about. So I went on. I had an account, but only to keep an eye on the kids, and the duck garden plant one it is now, I didn't really use it. So I didn't know anything. I didn't know that I'd missed out on a lovely garden community in the first lockdown and before. But I went on and I thought, I'll start a challenge on there where people can pick flowers from their garden once a week, and we'll just for fun, we'll pick a winner. And so it's there's less international people now since Instagram did silly things with the hashtags. At the same time as what was it called with the plot? There was a lovely allotment based one where you had a prompt every day, and she just gave up gracefully when the hashtags changed. But I've tried to plow on, because you can't search who's posted this week as easily as you could then. But there's still there's people in America, Canada, France, mostly this country, and like a little core of us are carrying on despite Instagram putting their foot in. So yeah, I posted that on made a weekly posy challenge account, and we've been doing that ever since the second lockdown. Judge it every week on a Sunday, and we declare the winner, and everybody wants to see who it is. It's great. There's a lovely community with it. But yeah, then I realised that Instagram is way nicer than Facebook. So now I just sell my plants on Facebook. Otherwise, I think I'd do that locally. So I think I wouldn't probably go on Facebook very much if I didn't have to have a sales group on there. But yeah, the Instagram then, I just thought, I like this better. So then that's when I started posting pictures on the duck garden plants one. And then Gardener's World found me on there. So yeah, it all comes around in funny connections.
So what's the criteria for a posy then, if we want to get involved in that?
That was because it's only called that because that's what I'd always called it. And about when I started it like 10 years ago, I just used to pick a few little bits, quite hilariously little posies really when I look back. But then they got bigger and bigger, and I discovered chrysanthemums and dahlias and sometimes, so some weeks they're enormous and some weeks they're tiny for me, and that's exactly the same. So it's just anything grown, not flown. Sometimes people forage a bit, but it's meant to be things that they've grown or foraged themselves. That's really the only criteria, just to encourage people not to be buying chemically flowers, and we don't have any oasis, nothing nasty for the environment. Just encourage people to pick from their garden. Some people I don't think have missed a week in all these years. Wow. There's one lady, Hillary, goes off to the Swiss Alps and stuff, and she'll take a few with her and arrange it when she gets there sometimes. And but yeah, it's yeah, they can be whatever. It can be one stem, it can be a little posy, it could be a massive arrangement, it could be a floral arch, whatever. It's just kept the name, because for the 5 or 6 years I was doing it before that, I used to say, here's my weekly posy. I just did it for myself at first, and you don't realise how many people, especially in lockdown, people were like, were enjoying those kinds of offerings, weren't they, on the internet? Yeah. And so it's just kept that name, but it can be any size of arrangement anyone wants, and some of them are very grand. Sometimes we have florists joining in. They don't tend to be allowed to win, otherwise we'd never have anybody. But then quite a few of them have turned into flower growers. Then I'm like, oh, what am I going to do now? Now they're selling their flowers and do. But yeah, so it's yeah, it's been good. I need to find a way of making it easier to connect again, because that hashtag thing was a pain. You used to be able to just search the hashtag and see in order the ones that had been entered, so any one of us could go on and see everybody's entries all at once. Yeah. And the Instagram don't let you do that anymore, so people have to put at weekly posy challenge, and it's not quite as consistent. No. But yeah, we've got some die-hard members that we're determined to keep going.
It looks like a bit of a fancy posy over your right shoulder back there.
Yeah, I did that for you boys. I did that for you.
Show us then.
There you go. I don't know if I could try and move it. It's basically on the day that I don't know whether to move the posy or move the camera. I'm more likely to mess up if I move the camera. So it's just thrown in this afternoon. It's not proper arrangement, but it was the day that we took the turf up. I say we loosely, like I said earlier. There was like this knock on the back gate about halfway through the day, and my dad and my husband looked at me and said, "Who's that?" And it was the person I'd sold the mower to that morning. So then I asked my very clever dad if he would change this. The room I'm sitting is part of our garage, and our that was the art shed he built for fun a long time ago. This was the mower shed, and this bit here behind me had the mower underneath, and then all that rubbishy garden stuff that gathers, and all the boxes and egg boxes and stuff you said. It was just horrible. So yeah, the mower went on Marketplace, and I said to my dad, I've sort of thought maybe this could be a bit prettier. So he moved the shelf down to nice flower arranging height, and I've got my curtains because I was supposed to be doing lots of lives and stuff, but I haven't got round to it. And yeah, so this is my place to play with flowers. So yeah, it's and that's daily. I didn't show you very well, did I? I'll bring another one.
You're showing up my Lego flowers, that's for sure.
I like those. I haven't got any of those yet. There's
not a single flower in here. Sorry.
So this, we're on dahlias at the moment.
Yeah.
So I grow them in big tree buckets. You know, what size are those great big black buckets you buy with the handles?
Oh yeah.
50 litres, something like that.
Maybe not quite that big, but one of those big tree buckets for each dahlia.
Wow.
On the plot, so that they don't get slugged, because they get slugged in the ground. And I have a few in the patio as well. So yeah, there's dahlias and verbena, and one of the annual grasses that I usually chuck in a bottle, Anakin frosted explosion. So yeah.
What's that amaranth? The long red one in the other bar?
Yeah, that's because you were talking about that the other. Well, I think I've been listening to them in all sorts of an order, but you were definitely talking about it on one of the podcasts. Yeah, I love those, and like you were saying, once you've had it, they just come back. So I do sow them deliberately in the bottles each year, just so I know where they are. But that particular one, I think, was a self-seeded one from previous years. So I've got green, and the hot biscuits is a lovely brown one. That's good for flower arranging. I haven't actually got round to eating any of it.
That was my next question.
No, I haven't. I know I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to eat the leaves when they're little, but then I want them to grow the flowers, and then you can eat the seeds, can't you? But
yeah, it's like quinoa, isn't it? It's like a grain.
Yeah, I don't know how much you would have to grow to actually be able to use a usable amount of that. But
Well, I
the other one,
harvested
what's
up
the
mine
other one?
today, and I've got loads, but I haven't got the seed off yet. So I don't know how much one portion would be by the time
And
all the seeds have come off.
someone gave me Orac. Is that how I say it? My friend Tracy gave me Orac seeds, which again, people love it for flower arranging, but I think you should be growing it as a vegetable. And so this year, all these things were coming up, and I thought it was all amaranthus. And then I realised after a while that some of it was the Orac, and it grows like 5 foot tall, beautiful red stems, and then you get like, I've got them dried here, I think, or some today.
Oh, we'll have a show and tell.
Have a show and tell, yeah. So this is it proper. Oh, it's got a grass in it. So that's it dried. But before it dries off, they're like real mahogany red, or like colour of my jumper.
Yeah.
So they're amazing for flower arranging. But the seeds are going everywhere. So I think next year that'll be all over the allotment plot.
Jenny's had green fountain and coral fountain as well. Wow.
Oh, that's the amaranthus, I think, isn't
I
it?
didn't know you could get lots of different colours. I thought amaranthus was just the red one. I did.
No,
One of the green ones is so big that you need like a proper urn, you know, if you were doing a wedding, and they come up like this and they trail down a couple of foot.
Wow.
They're just amazing. You can catch them littler, but if you let them get to their full, they're huge, really huge. But yeah, I should try eating them. Sorry? Yes,
like
so yeah,
those
really
snakes that the
thick.
kids have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
On the metal poles.
Yeah, they're huge. But
Comes
they're
in red,
another.
bronze, green. Wow.
They're another one that's brilliant at this time of year. So the amaranthus, the dahlias, the chrysanthemums, so your ornamental annual grasses that I grow. I just love, you know, October time for all of those. But my husband likes helping with the veg. He doesn't do flowers, but he likes the veg. And I've grown something called Soteria caramel. I don't think I've got. And so it's a grass with a beautiful red tinge to it, but then thousands of seeds on every head. Yeah. So now the first thing we get in the veg patch is the forget-me-not, which again I think is beautiful, and then we get an absolute sea of Soteria caramel grasses, and so when he's able to early retire at some point and wants to do more veg, I think he's going to be cursing all the self-seeded flower arranging stuff.
Brilliant.
Chris planted that at work last year and it's come back again. There's more of it this year than what there was last year. So
Groovy Chris.
Groovy Gardener Chris, yeah.
Chris is coming to Bristol. I get to meet Chris.
Oh, you lucky thing.
Oh, is he coming, is he?
Yeah, some of these flying over, especially some of these friendships are like Insta friendships are years in the making. In fact, I don't know if Lexi, Floral Fantastic.
Oh, I love Lexi.
She's coming to Plymouth and for the talk, and we were chatting away earlier in the year when she booked her ticket, and then I said it would be lovely to meet each other, and she went, "Oh yeah." She's completely forgotten we haven't actually met each other because we did lockdown Zoom crafting and all sorts of things, but we've not actually met each other. So
yeah, strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be funny.
I would love to come down, but I think it's 5 hours for me.
What, even Bristol?
That's going to be it's going to be close to 4. Must be.
Well,
right across the country, isn't it, for us?
It's a long way.
Yeah. It's tricky. It's tricky because TJ's. I presumed that he would give me a selection of dates when we were in the preliminary stages, and in the end, because he opens his garden and does lectures and all sorts, in the end he was like, "I can come here," and it's like a half-week block, and I'm like, right. So there's no garden clubs, nothing coincided because I chair our local garden club, and I thought, oh, maybe he can come, I can combine it, and then we can pay some of the fee out of that. But no, nothing. I couldn't find a single place that had a meeting at the right time. So that's how I've ended up organising too. But because he's coming over on the ferry and going back Fishguard, didn't want to make it, push him too far up. Although I think he is going to go and visit Ashford actually on his way home. But I'm not organising another one up there in the next 2.5 weeks.
I guess you're going to go to both.
Sorry, yeah, no, we're going to have to because, like I said, there was no I was in negotiations with Bristol Botanic and all sorts of, like trying to get in touch with places. But in the end, it seemed like my husband said, book another place in Bristol and I'll drive you up there. So yeah, we get to listen to it twice. So yeah, I'm going to host both evenings, and I'll be kind of relieved when they're finished, even though I'm very excited.
Yeah,
It'll be good when they've gone off well. But yeah, it'll be fun to meet people, and yeah.
Joe's just said you could Zoom it. That would be brilliant. Could you
yeah, somebody said that earlier, and I'm just thinking, oh my goodness, I'm already getting ticket holders checked in, selling raffle tickets, having moved all the chairs and done everything. I don't know. I'll have a think and a chat to TJ.
That would be, I would be there then, definitely.
Instagram
Live. Imagine that if that didn't work out. No, I think the best thing to do is invite him over. People further up need to try him next year. But,
get to the other side of the country.
We won't have your organising skills. You'd have to do it again.
No, I've said never again. I think the thing is, when you're fundraising and you don't know how many tickets you're going to sell, we're a few hundred into profit for the pavilion now, but before you get to that point, you don't like to kind of spend out on advertising and stuff. So it's finding ways to get the word out there without actually wasting the money that you want to go to the good cause. It'd be different if it was a business venture, but so yeah, it's been a bit. I could probably plan it and promote it really well if I started now, but with what I've learned since February. But right now, it's it is what it is, and yeah. But yeah,
it's going to be brilliant. I'm sure it will be.
Thank you. Hope so. Yeah. It'll be brilliant. Just hope all the organising bits are fine. But yeah, I'm hoping it'll be close. Be close on £1,000 at least by the time we get the collection pot that I've got together and the tickets and stuff. So hopefully that'll be a nice chunk. They're finishing off. They're having a little kitchen area and a little kitchenette and a. I'm not sure if it's a toilet or a sink area, but they're having facilities so that if people are in the stage of a cancer treatment where they need medications changing or they need electricity for things like that, they need that's all possible. So it'll just be day by day, and he needs to find a charity to help them, run it once it's ready. But they're on that sort of final push for getting the inside. And if anyone knows anyone who's giving away a motorised wheelchair or something similar, that's going to be the next big stumbling block, I think, for getting people to it. Although they changed some of the pathways partly with that in mind last winter. We went back in March time, kind of walked through a section of the garden and had to do a complete double take because he's just totally removed the pathway and it was then planted up. And having been visiting for 5 or 6 years, it's like, what's happening here? It took a while to work out. So there's now a much more accessible route, which was partly what it was. And it also creates a beautiful view back through to this. People need to go and have a look at the Wildside Instagram if they haven't, because it's just mind-blowing how beautiful it is. And it was completely flat, just a field, literally a field with a few apple trees in the middle. And now you see he's left about 5 apple trees down at the bottom. And when you get to the very bottom, and you look out, there's another 3-acre field exactly the same. And when that still belongs to the neighbour. And when we first went there, my son was early teens at that point, and he absolutely would not believe me that it was the same space as what we'd walked across. Yeah. And we had to come home and look on the Google Maps, aerial view.
Oh, yeah.
Because it just, like I was saying here, where you play around with the landscape, and it's so many journeys within that 3 acres. Whereas the field just looks so small. So yeah, it's an amazing place, and I'm sure there must be people already using it on the open days in times of trouble and difficulty, going and sitting out there. And my sister-in-law Claire, my lovely sister-in-law, my brother and her, they used to go to our local National Trust in the same sort of way, when somebody gets to the point they're in a wheelchair or just during treatments. And I think, that's why I like supporting it, because whatever happens, however quickly the project can be put into practice, the pavilion's open on the open days and people can go and sit. The downstairs is finished now, so you can go and sit in like a wicker sofas and things and look out on part of the garden. And I'm sure there must be families going there at difficult times already and just soaking in all the. It's really, really emotional place. I don't know quite why, but it just really, really touches you. The planting and everything's amazing.
Yeah, I can imagine.
If it's anything like the garden house, because you mentioned that he created that first. I've been to visit that before, and I think that's probably one of my favourite gardens that I've ever visited. The garden house. Yeah,
I mean, he's obviously, I said the wrong word with the creative, but it was, it's been a charitable trust for a long time, but he was, I think it's 30 years there. He was head gardener and he and his wife did, I think, most of the gardening at that point, when they were there. And he had things like, if I don't know when you went, but there's things like silver birches. I remember I didn't know who he was at the time. It was right at the beginning of my garden journey, but I talked to him and realised who it was in looking back, and he plants like 3 silver birches together and then shapes them, and you get the multi stems and all of that in, down at the top end, the far end of the top level of the garden was his sort of planting of the trees and stuff. And lots of and obviously lots of brilliant things have happened. So they've got an amazing snowdrop collection because Matt Bishop came along at some point after him and did a amazing snowdrop collection there. And the current head gardener, Nick, is fabulous. He's coming to the Plymouth Talk, and they've done all sorts, they're always changing things and doing new things, but Keith certainly put a huge mark on it. It's an amazing place, but Wildside's my favourite.
That'll be on my list next time I'm down.
You must come and visit us. Come and visit my mini mounds, but you have to come here first.
Yeah,
otherwise they're a bit underwhelming.
It's amazing.
Let's have a little bit of a chat about your garden then, because you said it was completely turf. Yeah. And then you've transformed it into what it is now. Tell us all about that little bit journey. Don't know the word journey, but from start to finish, why and who designed it, and then tell us a little bit about the garden world thing.
Oh well, the design was basically me thinking, I've run out of places, and so I did a little scribble on my mobile phone on top of a picture of the lawn, and I showed it to my amazing gardener friend in Scotland, Mari, and she said, yeah, go for it. So then I showed it to my mum and dad, and they thought go for it, and Dad knew full well what that would mean. He knew how much work he was talking himself into. And then so by the time my husband came home from work that day, it was a done deal. And then so basically on the day in question for the turf cutter, my dad came with like the spray can, like you spray lines on a football pitch or something. And I think he was a bit puzzled still at that point what exactly was in my head, and he said, show us where these mounds are then. And so I sort of spray painted the lawn where I wanted the paths and where I wanted the raised bits, and then they knew where to take the turf off, and we left little like narrow strips of turf to mark the shapes. And then it was we piled the turf up, and I'd said to Keith Wiley at Wildside, I said, how high will I go? It's just a little back garden compared to yours. I'm not going to be going up tens of feet. How high will I go? And he said, the mounds will tell you. And it was brilliant. It was brilliant advice, because you kind of get to a certain point, you think, no, that looks right. Any higher, and it's just not going to feel right. Yeah. So that's how we shaped it. So the turf went on, and then a little bit of Dad. I think my husband went back to work for a rest because it was only a half term. He's a teacher. So Dad carried on with the digging out of the paths, and where he dug deep so that we could put slate chippings on as paths, the soil from the paths went on top of the upside down turf. And so, we shaped it like that. And then I'd spent from the from the April when I wanted to do it to the August when I could start planting things. I did plant a little bit in the June time on the side that didn't have turf, that just had soil from the path. That had a bit of planting early on, but I spent those few months like growing things in the milk bottles, potting up little purchases to make them bigger, splitting things from the garden, and then it was in the August. I've got another lovely friend. I'm lucky with people who love to garden here, really. Another lovely friend called Parslow, and she hadn't been available for ages, and she said, I can come and plant on such and such a day. And it was the same day that we'd hired the trailer for my husband to get the slate. It's like a sub stuff from the quarry.
Yeah.
So my dad and my husband had to go round us with the wheelbarrows because we were planting the mounds while they were getting the slate down. So that was mid-August, I think, in 23. And then what I didn't know was that the researcher turned out to be my researcher. That's how I call her now. My researcher from Gardener's World had followed me in the winter because I grow lots of hellebores. Absolutely love hellebores. And she'd followed me then when she was looking for a hellebore garden, and I didn't quite make the cut for that. But then, of course, when I started posting day by day what was happening with the ground, the turf coming up, and I think I posted every day for a few weeks, and then every week, and now every month to show the progress. And she started to follow that, and then she wrote to me then, right at the beginning, really, and said, if it's green light for the project, it would be in a year's time where it's all grown out. So then I spent the next year going, well, if Gardener's Welcome, if Gardener's Welcome. And then, when you do you decorate one room in the house and the rest of it looks really shoddy.
Yeah.
So we got to the spring last year, and the middle, I was like, oh, this is looking pretty good, Like Mark said, it was surprising how fast it had grown and was, it was looking good. And the side, the great big border that had been down there for 20 odd years, was just looking really tired. So I kind of kept quiet, and I didn't tag Gardener's World or anything. I thought, no, they can't come yet with all that rubbish at the side. And then when I got to June last year, and I thought, well, if they're coming, I want them to come soon. I tagged Gardener's World on this post, and I get this urgent message from the researcher to say, I've missed it, I've missed the best month. So then I was like, no, July will be fine. So yeah, they came in July last year, and they're incredible. They're absolutely such a treat to work with them for the day. The cameraman, I had a second cameraman came and did some mop-up pictures because we had a bit of rain on the actual day. And between the two of them, there's one of them that films Carol Klein regularly. There's one of them that's filmed Blue Planet. And you're just watching them in the middle of your plants, just thinking, God, what a treat. Yeah. So they were all amazing to work with. And Sue is so lovely. But we got into a lot of trouble because we'd be crouched down. The mounds are obviously quite high, and then the grasses were big by then. And Sue would be going, what's this then? And we'd crouch down for me to explain a plant, and they'd turn around and they're like, ladies, you're ready for you? What are you doing? And we'd pop up from the grasses and get into trouble for not concentrating. So yeah, we had a great day. They were lovely. But then at the end of the day, it was all a bit of a rush because it started to rain, and they decided they could get Sue on a train, and she wouldn't have to stay over. She could get home, and because I think they'd filmed another one on the way down. And I just thought, so I was exhausted, and I said to them, when will this be on then? And they were like, oh, probably next summer. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'd had like a whole year of will they come, and then the whole day filming, and then, but it got to kind of, you've got a couple more weeks left on iPlayer, because in the end it went out on the first week of November, because Sue was going around everybody's gardens looking for inspiration for her own garden, which was what they'd said when they were here. And I was thinking, they're showing all these films. I thought, surely they're not going to save mine till next year when it's all the sort of same theme. So I thought, I wonder how many shows there are left. And I had a look in the radio, listing, in the TV listings. And it said, visits a gardener who changed the topography of her garden. And that was the word, like one of the words they'd made me use. I was like, oh my goodness. So I messaged the researcher, and she's like, yep, that's you next week. So yeah, it went out in the November in the end, but we couldn't tell anyone. And my mum was fabulous. She made quiche for the crew. We put a lunch on for them, and You don't have to, but it was going to be easier for me than I had a friend who'd gone out for their crew when they were on garden as well, and they'd had to go to the cafe and take orders and stuff because the crew had run late and not brought their lunch. So I thought, right, we'll put lunch on and it'll be much more relaxed. So Mum had made these quiche, and then she won her local gardening competition. She won the pastry section with her quiche, and she couldn't tell them. She couldn't tell them that it was already BBC approved. So we had all this, we had all these jokes going on in the family for a year, and then then it went out on the November time. So yeah, it's a treat.
Brilliant. So what
to have
what
that
episode
record.
is it? If we want to go and look at it on iPlayer,
It's episode 32. It was the last one before they did the 4 winter specials, and yeah, I think somebody asked me the other day, and I looked. I think it's got about two or 3 weeks left on there.
episode 32. Is it series 100?
Well, it's 2024. It's the one that's on at the last one available. The 2024. The last bits of that were available. But yeah, they keep it on for a year. So. Yeah, no, there is a link in my bio at the moment. I'll have to get rid of that when they take it off. But no,
I'll have to have a look. I'm sure I saw it, or it might have been one I missed, but I will go in and have a look before it disappears.
Look out for Sue and I giggling when we've just been told off. It is fascinating though, because they make you film everything about 5 different times.
Yeah.
And so we did one bit, and I thought, because I didn't have a script. They'd make a script for Sue after I've written in lots of ideas and stuff that they'd asked for, and they make a script, and then I just have to answer off the cuff. And we'd filmed a bit, and I thought, that wasn't too bad. I like that answer. And then they're like, right, let's go again. And I sort of looked at them, and they said, yeah, we'll do each one 5 times. And it's like a camera on me one time, camera on Sue is the second one. They do it on the big crane, the big thing that they had filming from a height. They do one where there's neither of us in shot, in case they need to knit it all together and our lips aren't syncing properly. And then I don't know what the 5th one was, but there's literally 5 times. And I just turned to Sue and I was like, I won't remember what I've just said. And she's like, don't worry, none of us do. They'll knit it all together. So there are just, there's just a few key things that we were supposed to be covering. But apart from that, you just have to film. I thought I'd be sitting lounging on a chair all day. I had my daughter make cushions and everything because I'd seen my Instagram friend in Wales had sat outside of Summer House with Sue. But they had me on my feet for, I think it was 3.5 hours from when they got here to when we stopped for lunch. So just constant.
You don't know I've got a chronic fatigue.
Yeah.
That was a definite case of go for it and recover afterwards.
Yeah.
And it was 8.5 hours filming for 7 minutes.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, really amazing to see.
Yeah, oh, fantastic. Jenny just said you got a YouTube channel as well.
Well, there's someone who wouldn't want me to mention him, a young man in my life, who decided that we ought to get me on YouTube. He's got slightly distracted in recent weeks, but we did have the first 4 up, and because he's an absolute tech whiz, it's all properly edited and everything. In fact, I think he's a tougher taskmaster than Gardener's World. And he was like, I have to say all sorts of things like and subscribe and stuff. And the first time I did it right, he was gesturing at me and I thought I'd got something wrong. And I stopped. I went, what have I done? What's wrong? He went, no, you did it. He said, I can't believe you did it. But he's made some really lovely, he's really good with the camera, and he's made some really lovely films of what was going on. But there's still one in the can at the moment. I don't know if it's going to get he's only 18, so I think
in the can
other priorities have taken over. But yeah, it's it would be nice if we can keep it up. It would be nice because it's in fact a customer came and asked to buy something that was in there, so there could be something in it. I might actually do something to sell plants that I'm supposed to be doing to pay for the garden instead of all this fundraising.
Look after your own garden.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, brilliant. It's been brilliant listening to all that, hearing all about your life. Massive amount of stuff going on in your life.
Thank you for letting me come on, and
No.
yeah, lovely to chat to you both.
No, you've been so welcome. It's not finished yet. You've obviously listened to a few of these. You know what's
Oh
going to happen
yeah.
now.
Oh dear. This is not going to be good.
And have you got the new bit, Mark?
I've got the new bit complete with different options.
Right,
So
go
we'll
for it.
start with the lightning round. The first question, as always, is favourite band or artist?
Oh no, because I'm rubbish at that. This is what happened. I went on Toby Buckland's local radio show to promote the TJ thing, and it was going great until the researcher said to me, "You need to pick a song," and I'm like, "I don't do that. I just listen to everybody else's." And I was going when Fairground Attraction is the one I used to love,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was going to pick one of theirs. And it was a beautiful new one that I didn't know they'd put out, and it was really relevant to Wildside, but it made me cry, so I couldn't use that. So yeah, let's go for Fairground Attraction, but no particular song.
Brilliant. Mark's gone. Oh, there he is.
The dog's being a pain. You will watch. I'm
I can hear
throwing
him.
bags, I'm throwing cloths. Just will not make his mind up of what he actually wants throwing. Anyway, in the summer, are you a cuppa in the morning sun or a cold drink relaxing as the sun goes down?
I definitely can't come in until it's pitch black.
Yeah.
So yeah, ideally both, but definitely love that hour before the sun goes down.
Clinging on to the last of the light.
Yeah.
Good choice. This one's pretty obvious. Flowers or edibles?
Flowers, please.
Your go-to emoji?
Probably smiley face.
Smiley face. Classic.
Yeah.
If you could have only one snack for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I heard this one the other day. I thought, I still don't know, even though I've been thinking about it. I'd miss cheese. Can I have cheese and crackers?
Oh,
Definitely.
it's got to be one of the best snacks in the world, isn't it?
With some homegrown cucumber, outdoor mini ones.
Sounds good.
Finish the sentence. My perfect day would be...
In the garden. Well, what I really like to do is go to a lovely open garden, buy a few plants, then come home and plant the plants. Because if you plant them the same day, they don't count. Because all the ones you've not planted, you're not adding to the stash. You just plant them on the day, and then tea on the patio, admiring it all.
Brilliant.
Yeah, nice.
We're all guilty of it. I mean, how many plants have you got just lying around that you haven't planted?
I know, but definitely if you plant the new ones straight away, they don't add to the count.
Nobody can tell you off for those. What is today's favourite plant?
Asters at the moment. Definitely asters. Yeah.
All over the place.
Yeah.
Favourite season?
Autumn, because of the chrysanthemums, the dahlias. Yeah. And not just because we're in it, I don't think. I think it's all. I'm looking forward to those chrysanthemums all year, which is telltale sign. Yeah.
I don't think there's another season where the whole garden can look so special. Because usually there's little pockets here and there, but the whole landscape transforms in autumn.
Because I love the hellebores, and I'm a daffodil. I love daffodils, but there's something about them. And the light at the moment, the light in the autumn is just... Yeah.
It's like golden hour all day almost.
There is, yeah, definitely, isn't there?
If you could make one thing disappear from your garden or the gardening world, what would it be?
Probably slugs. I know it's a classic, but because it is soul destroying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Especially
definitely.
when you put all that effort in and they just have it.
And the ducks are good, but they also have taken a liking to ornamental grasses. So we're in negotiations. They used to be fab when it was just a lawn, but they do like the ornamental grasses, so they have to be kept an eye on a bit more. So yeah, back to the drawing board with that one. Back to the scissors.
What is your favourite weed?
I did hear this one, so I'm cheating a bit, but there's this teeny tiny little pennycress, and I'm not sure how I got it. I think I was looking for the bigger pennycress that you can flower arrange with, but I've ended up with these teeny tiny little pennycress plants coming up in the pathways here, and they're absolutely pointless, but very, very cute.
Oh, nice.
But they're going to be everywhere as the years go by.
Happy accident. Garden visit or plant shopping trip? Probably both.
Probably both, yeah. It's difficult because without the wild side, and I went to Ashwood Nurseries, went to that garden. You really do have to get out to places, don't you, to open your eyes and give you ideas.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't beat a plant purchase on the way out.
No.
And favourite garden scent?
Ooh, don't know about that one. Possibly sweet peas. Possibly. It's a classic from my childhood. Have to grow them. I'm rubbish at training them, rubbish at picking them, but I have to be able to go and put my nose in them.
Whiff. If you could choose 3 people to garden with, who would they be?
That's not on any of your other ones.
No, that's a new one.
Been on a couple of times.
I haven't heard
Be
that
anybody,
one.
doesn't have to be famous.
Oh. Well, Tom's on there, so I need to say Tom. He's Joshua Tree Garden Care these days. He was my right-hand man leading up to my volunteer leading up to Gardeners World. My husband used to come and open the back door, and go, "You two do know it's raining, don't you?" Because the rain was like knocking us sideways and the wind was howling. We're staking things for Gardeners World. So yeah, Tom. And my friend Mari, who flew down from Scotland, specially to plant the side mound the September, because she wanted to do all of it with me, but I was impatient and did it in the August. So Mari's definitely someone I love gardening with, and we hardly ever get to do it together. And I guess I'd love to garden with Keith, but I'm sure he won't let me. So although they do take volunteers at Wildside, it's just I do know my physical limits, and that is beyond it. But yeah, that would be a good trio.
Dream, so you can choose whoever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the final bit. This is what we're going to call winner stays on, and you can choose either veg, flowers, or Gardeners World presenters.
Oh, crumbs. I better go for flowers, but I may look very silly.
So all you've got to do is I'll give you the choice of 2 things. You've got to decide which one you want to keep. So the first 2 are tulips or roses.
Tulips. Because I'm rubbish at roses.
Tulips or dahlias.
Dahlias.
Dahlias or sweet peas.
Dahlias.
Dahlias or sunflowers.
Or no, dahlias still.
Dahlias or cosmos.
Dahlias.
Oh, they're lasting. Dahlias or rudbeckia.
Mine vanished. I'm still sticking with dahlias.
Dahlias or cornflowers.
Dahlias. You see, some of these are not so good in the vase. This is what you've...
No, that's true. Dahlias or snapdragons.
They got rust. I've fallen out with them. They were going to be my autumn. They were supposed to look at TJ uses them right across his garden, and I wanted to have them sweeping through if he comes to visit. No, I'm falling out with them.
Dahlias staying on. This one might win though. Dahlias or asters.
Oh.
Dahlias. Surprising myself.
Dahlias or iris.
Sorry, dahlias.
Dahlias or geraniums.
Hardy geraniums. I love hardy geraniums. Couldn't live without hardy geraniums.
So geraniums are winning.
Yeah, that's gardening, not cutting. Sorry.
Geraniums or fuchsia.
Geraniums.
Geraniums or alliums.
Geraniums.
Geraniums or hydrangea.
Geraniums. My mum's going to love this one because it's a shared love. And my mum is another gardener that I garden with.
There you go. Geraniums win.
Woohoo!
Wow.
Fancy
I
that.
didn't think anything
Where
was
was
going to overtake
chrysanthemum?
dahlias. It's no
Where was
There wasn't there.
chrysanthemum.
They might have beat it. Should have done chrysanthemums just for you.
Oh,
Oh,
Brilliant.
brilliant.
thank you,
Very much.
gents. I survived that bit after all.
It's all good fun.
Yeah, very good. Thanks so much, Caroline.
Thanks for your
Thank you
time.
very much,
It's been
gents.
brilliant. I hope it all
I'll-
goes really well. I'm sure it will do on the 24th and 25th.
Thank you, gents. Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Wow.
Yeah, you need to go and check out that episode because her garden, what she's created, is amazing. Like,
Mm.
there's garden designers that don't nail it as well as she's done it in her first attempt. You know, it's something like you'd see at Gardeners World Live.
Mm. Yeah, sounds amazing. I've seen obviously bits of it on her Instagram, but I think
just to see the like in depth with the
Yeah.
what the BBC do with their coverage. Like she said, the guy is on Blue Planet. I mean, they make the whole world look amazing, don't
Yeah. Yeah.
Those cameramen
Best.
do some.
Best cameraman in the world, isn't he?
Yeah, they can make it look like there's. I'm not saying that there are bad bits of a garden, but they can make the good bits look extra specially good, so you ignore the bad bits.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic.
But yeah, she's brilliant. And what an inspirational thing that she's doing, raising money for that charity.
Yeah, fantastic.
I just wish we could go because I would be there.
It's just so far away.
That side of the country in Devon and that is just, Devon's 8 hours for me.
Yeah.
It's just silly far.
Yeah, long way.
Do what Chris doesn't fly in.
Could fly down to Bristol Airport from Norwich, maybe?
Yeah. I don't know what. I'd probably have to go from East Midlands. I don't know whether they'd do one down to Cornwall, Devon.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Chris
another
is
time, maybe.
around the place then because he's in Paris at the moment.
Yeah.
And then flying in to go to that chat.
Lovely. Good on him. Why not? If you can, do it. I would if I could.
Exeter or Newquay.
Yeah.
I'd have to have a week down there, all these people that we know that are down that area.
Exactly. We could. You spend so much time down there.
Going on a train to Devon.
Sissy, we had a fantastic one. You need to have a listen in later on. It's really, really good. Yeah. Paris is nice, Joe. Paris is very nice.
Yeah, and I've said to Chris before, like I completely admire him just going and doing all this stuff on his own because it must be so hard to. You want to do that stuff and share it with people, but the fact that he's still doing it even though he's on his own is brilliant. He's not missing out. He can do that he wants to do as well. Relying on somebody else to spoil it, possibly, which is what was happening with his ex. So
he can go and do all these things, you see, and then search out all the good bits, and then when he's got something to go with, he can take them to all the good bits.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
Chris,
good night again.
He's our guest next week.
Chris is back on, and he's the third timer.
Third time, yeah. But a lot has happened since he was last on.
Hell of a lot, yeah.
His life.
Definitely. Yeah.
So he's always got plenty to say.
Yeah.
And it's always a pleasure to have Chris on. So
definitely.
we'll all enjoy that.
Yeah, we'll do. Right.
Yeah. We'll see you all next week.
See you next week. See you, Mark.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everybody, watching.
See you later.
Thank you, Caroline. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Through the Garden Gate.